Here are the show me tell me questions in a flashcard style. Question 1. Tell me how you check that the brakes are working before starting a journey. Brakes should not feel spongy or slack. Brakes should be tested as you set off. The vehicle should not pull to one side. Question 2. Tell me where you would find information for the recommended tyre pressures for this car and how tyre pressures could be checked. Check manufacturer's guide. Use a reliable pressure gauge. Check and adjust pressures when tyres are cold. Don't forget the spare tyre and remember to refit valve caps. Question 3. Tell me how you would make sure your head restraint is correctly adjusted so it provides the best protection in the event of a crash. The head restraint should be adjusted so the rigid part of the head restraint is at least as high as the eye or top of the ears and as close to the back of the head as is comfortable. Some restraints might not be adjustable. Question 4. Tell me how you check the tyres to ensure that they have sufficient tread depth and their general condition is safe to use on the road. Check there's no cuts and bulges. There should be 1.6 millimeters of tread depth across the central 3/4 of the breadth of the tyre and around the entire outer circumference of the tyre. Question 5. Tell me how you check that the headlights and tail lights are working. You don't need to exit the vehicle. Explain you'd operate the switch, turn on the ignition if necessary, then walk round the vehicle. As this is a tell me question, you don't need to physically check the lights. Question 6. Tell me how you'd know if there was a problem with the anti-lock braking system. A warning light should illuminate if there was a fault with the anti-lock braking system. Question 7. Tell me how you check the direction indicators are working. You don't need to exit the vehicle. Explain you'd operate the switch, turn on the ignition if necessary, and then walk round the vehicle. As this is a tell me question, you don't need to physically check the lights. Question 8. Tell me how you would know the brake lights are working on this car. Explain you'd operate the brake pedal, make use of the reflections in windows or doors, or ask someone to help. Question 9. Tell me how you check the power-assisted steering is working before starting a journey. If the steering becomes heavy, the system may not be working properly. Before starting a journey, 2 simple checks can be made. Gentle pressure on the steering wheel maintained while the engine is started should result in slight but noticeable movement as the system begins to operate. Alternatively, turning the steering wheel just after moving off will give an immediate indication that the power assistance is functioning. Question 10. Tell me how you'd switch on the rear fog lights and explain when you'd use them. You don't need to exit the vehicle. Operate switch, turn on dipped headlights and ignition if necessary, check warning light is on and explain use. Question 11. Tell me how you'd switch your headlights from dip to main beam and explain how you'd know the main beam was on. Operate the switch, turn on dipped headlights and ignition if necessary, check warning light is on and explain use. So now you've done the tell me questions, why not go and have a look at the show me questions on the link attached. Thanks for listening in. Take care. Goodbye.